Natural solutions to money, relationships, wellness, and more. Shine a light onto your day and into your life. Power Your Life with Dr. Joanne White.
Welcome to Power Your Life. I'm Joanne White, your host. And this past September, a gay couple made headlines when they were viciously attacked and beaten in Center City, Philadelphia, by a group who had been out celebrating a birthday. The brutal assault, which was labeled a hate crime, left the victims with several broken bones and fractures. A close friend of the couple is trying to get the state of Pennsylvania to expand their hate crime law to include crimes motivated by sexual orientation. Caryn Kunkle joins us now. Welcome back. How are you?
Thank you for having me, Dr. Joe.
My pleasure. So you are close friends of these people, this couple, who, and it's interesting, September 11th was very strategic time in United States history, in our history. What actually happened, Caryn?
So you brought up September 11th. It was really unfortunate that it happened on September 11th. Both myself and victim A were volunteer firefighters for many years in Abington Township, which is where several of the suspects are from. And it was really shocking that such a vicious crime happened that day. So 15 young people, all under the age of 25, were walking down 16th Street and just confronted two of my friends who were walking down the street. They weren't holding hands, they weren't dressed, provocatively.
Right.
And the group just confronted them with the question, is that your boyfriend? And the incident escalated from there. The group took turns holding the victims back while other of the suspects were beating them. So it was really, the term ganging up on someone. It was pretty vicious, and bystanders stepped in and stopped the attack. It was so vicious.
Well, that's good that there were people there to stop it. You were very instrumental in organizing a rally with over 300 people in Love Park in Philadelphia, and you also called the media. Tell us a little bit about what happened at the rally.
Sure. So the rally was really phenomenal. Brian Sims helped get that organized. He's a state representative.
Right.
He's been wonderful. And somebody who also helped us gather some support was Huey Dillon from Philly Chit Chat. Right. Both of them really put out the word, and we got press ranging from...
And you had politicians there too, right?
California to New York, all sorts of politicians. People really got behind us, like Tom Wolfe and Ed Rendell.
Right.
It was a really powerful push, and people showed up and they let the public know that that is not okay. And we're talking about young people, old people, powerful politicians, senators showed up and spoke out.
So people from all different ages, all different races,
children
came and said, this is not acceptable. It's not acceptable in Philadelphia, the city of love. And you had that saying that was very prevalent during the time.
Love over hate.
Right, which is so very important.
Very. And it's interesting because, after that rally, the news started picking up the story some more, and I found out actually on the news, watching myself on the news, which was bizarre, that Philadelphia and Pennsylvania both do not cover sexual orientation under the hate crime law. Covers religion, it covers race. There's been some push recently to bring special needs into the law.
People with disabilities.
Sexual orientation and gender identity were not covered. So watching the news, I took 10 minutes and started a petition online. Literally took 10 minutes. And today we have 91,000 signatures on that petition.
And it's interesting because you started the petition, and so many people rallied and understood what was at risk here, what was at stake here, which is really very important.
Yeah.
So it's now
It's
passed.
now law.
It's now law. There's still a long way to go in terms of Pennsylvania, right? What do you think will happen?
Well, it's phenomenal. There have been very few instances where City Council unanimously passes a bill. and this was one of those instances.
Amazing.
So they unanimously passed the amendment, including sexual orientation and gender identity,
Right.
as well as special needs and disabilities. And we're continuing to push through state legislation to get the law passed for all of Pennsylvania.
For the whole Commonwealth.
Correct.
Right. Good.
Mhm. And so Tom Wolf, I think, is very supportive of the
Right.
law. We're having some trouble getting the House representative, the chairman, to
So-
bring that law to vote. So,
So hopefully that will happen.
people can put some pressure on
Yes.
their Republican friends. That would be wonderful.
Unfortunately, after this incident and with everything that's happened, there's been a lot of backlash. And what are we doing kind of to squelch that in some way, or are we?
That's a great question. So the victims have chosen to remain anonymous. There have
Good.
been a lot of threats against them, people threatening to follow them, threatening to, further injure them or
And they were the victims.
The victims have asked repeatedly that people keep their language regarding the suspects kind and respectful, because we got a choice in life and we get to choose.
Right.
And our choice is love over
Versus
hate.
hate, right.
Correct.
Right, so even if you're angry at the incident or what happened, there's still a way to present yourself and a way to see it in a positive way. I have to ask you one quick question before we go. Are you going to think of running somewhere in politics?
That's a great question. It's been really exciting to see this change enacted, and folks all across the board have been pressuring me now to run for office. I guess we'll just have to stay tuned.
Okay, so we'll have to see. Thanks so much. Still ahead on Power Your Life, she's the author of Get Real, Produce Your Own Life. Dr. Nancy Maramer is going to join us to talk about taking control of your own life and your destiny after the break. Thanks so much for being here.